Hello, I'm Elowin, and this is my Simself. You can tell that I like sharp pink. I have my traits here. I'm a foodie. I love to cook and bake. I love dogs, and I'm pretty creative. And I love gardening. So I thought that having the aspiration of becoming a freelance botanist could be something for me. But I do play the piano, I play the guitar, I play flute, and I monkey around. That too. So, and I do a lot of handcrafting, or did, I should say. I have done a lot in the garden before, and I haven't really been doing anything for the last 8-10 years because of illness, but that's another story and we don't have to put that up here. So today I wanted to show you all my dogs that I have had during my lifetime as an adult, and dogs of my own. My grandparents had a lot of dogs while I grew up, but these have been my own. The first dog that I had was a Newfoundland, and his name was Bonanza Kid, and a kid is a little one, so we call him the little one, but in Swedish, and that was Linden. So that's his nickname. He was very hairy, he was very friendly, and he was stubborn like you don't know what. And yeah, he always wanted to play tricks on me too. He sadly, we had to put him down when he was 3.5 years old because of his hips. He had no hips. That was a totally blank joint there. So he couldn't walk in the end, almost couldn't walk, and he weighed 70 kilos, and I think that would be about 150 pounds, so you couldn't carry him around. But he was a nice dog, but big. After that, or before he died, we bought a Bubble. He was a great Schnauzer, or Grand Schnauzer, I don't know really. Giant Schnauzer, it's called. We call them a Riesenschnauzer in Sweden. And he was big too. He was very, very big. He gave him the traits here. He was smart, and he was really smart. But he was aggressive, and he was independent, and he was protecting me. So in the end, I couldn't say hello with a handshake, because then he started to think that they were attacking me, and he started to grumble and got really aggressive. And when he was 2.5, he was thinking that he was going to raise my son together with me. So he did push him a lot with his snout, his nose, and I was afraid that he were going to bite him, and my son was only 7 months old, so he was very vulnerable. So we had to put him down too, and he was too aggressive to let him change homes. I wouldn't wanted anyone to be hurt, and he did bite at the time, one time, so he was not to be trusted. After that we had Roseanne, Dalmatian. She was a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde dog. She was like a little puppy inside the house. She was laying in my knee, and the only thing that separated her from a baby was that she wasn't human, actually. She was active, she was stubborn, and she was a hunter. And outside the gates she was, or she thought she was, a big Rottweiler, and she wanted to be in charge everywhere, and I couldn't trust her with other dogs. She was an alpha bitch, and well, the other dogs had to obey her or she got mad. When she was about 1.5, maybe 2, we had another dog in the house. Was a Dalmatian too, and she was named Jojo. And she was a Jojo because she was just as much in the air as on the ground. You could have called her active, but I chose to call her playful. She was loyal, she was friendly, she was pretty much everything that Roseanne wasn't. And Roseanne, we had to put her down when she was 5.5 because she had cancer in her stomach. She got pretty ill. But this lady, Jojo, she wasn't put down until she was 14.5 years old, and she was lovely, really, really lovely, and I loved her to pieces. And the last 5 or 6 years of her life, we had another dog called Dorothy. Now, this dog isn't in The Sims 4. She was a Norwich Terrier. I changed it here. I changed the looks from the York Terrier slightly. She was 9 years old when she moved in with us, because her owners was tired of her. They had 4 dogs, and this was the dog that stared at the man in the house all the time, and he got nervous and he didn't want her anymore. And I was the first one to hold her when she was born. I actually helped her mother to give birth. So I knew her all her life, from the first breath to the last. But she was 9 when she moved in. And that went pretty good. She had always loved me, so there was no struggle at all to make her a part of our family. And she loved Jojo. They had a fun time together. She was loyal, she was very friendly, and she was a couch potato. She slept. And she preferred sleeping in my lap. but she was lovely. She was 16 years old when we had to put her down, but it was time. It had been for some time when we finally came to the conclusion that we couldn't let her live any longer because she suffered. She could stand at the water bowl and drink and pee at the same time, so well, she didn't. I think she was a bit senile, but I don't know. Otherwise, she was a healthy dog, and she was lovely in many ways. Then we were without a dog for a year, about a year, and then my son bought Brutus, a very muscular, big brown Labrador. And when he was 3 months old, my son suddenly realized that he didn't have the same activity, energy as the dog. The dog was very energetic as a puppy. So he moved in with us, and there he has stayed. And he is very friendly, he's very, very loyal, and he's very smart. I clicker train him, and he is very eager to do everything. At the same time as he is a bit independent, he relies on himself a lot. So he gets some ideas sometimes, but most of the time he's obeying what I tell him to do. He is a big Labrador. He's a bit, I think it's 62 centimeters high over the back here, and that would be about 2 feet 1 inch. So he's very, very big. But he still think he's 6 years old now, and still think he's a puppy, and he wants to sit in the lap, which is a bit difficult with such a big dog. And then we got, at last but not least, Jessie. She is a Yorkie, and she and Brutus are the best of friends. She is my daycare dog, and it's she who makes the most noise in my videos, and she is very, very difficult to stop from barking. So she's jumpy, she is vocal, and she's a hunter. She's really a hunter. So we will take Brutus and Jessie with us and go to our house. So see you in a little while. So here we are outside a replica of the house where I live in real life. It looks almost the same, but as you can imagine, it's not easy to get anything exactly as it is in real life when it comes to building. The roof look a bit different. We have 4 windows at the bottom and 2 at the second floor, but those windows are a bit bigger than they are in The Sims 4. So that's why we will have it differently. So we have a red mailbox, and we have a gate that is grey. We have this outside, the outhouse, and just wall to wall with that is our neighbour's house. So may look a little less alone, or what is it to call it. We have a lot of plants there, and we will go into the main door, through the main door, if we can make this, and we get into entree, which is pretty much like this. Now the stairs, it starts on the left side and makes a U-turn, but if we can't have that in The Sims 4, so I have to make a compromise. But the first thing that we have here, if I can get a bit lower maybe, is a toilet. It's not big. We have a shower, a sink and a toilet. So that's pretty much how it is in real life. And when we get up here and go in here, we have the kitchen, and looks pretty much like this. We have a red coffee pot, got sink there, we got the stove there. I don't have a oven there. I got an oven, let's see, over here in the middle. We got a microwave and an oven and things like that in the middle there, and we have two refrigerators, one on each side. So here is not a refrigerator in real life, but I couldn't get it together there. And Brutus has his bed in that corner. It wouldn't fit in here. So out here is very empty at the moment. This is my laundry room, and I thought I shouldn't put anything in here until we got that stuff back. So out of here and out of the kitchen and into the living room, and here we got the place where we dine with our guests, and I have a cabinet on that wall. Otherwise it's pretty much as it is. They haven't got the furniture that I have real life, so I had to compromise. And the same goes for this electric piano. I have an ordinary piano standing here, so but I didn't have one like this. And out here we have our new built conservatory. So we have put in windows and doors like this out here. So this is pretty much how it looks. And then we have the garden. Real life I have a garden that is 3 times as big on the back side. So I had to compromise, and we have a real cherry tree in the corner. And we do have a lot of space for vegetables and such, even if they haven't grown anything the last but weed the last couple of years. So that's the bottom floor. And Brutus of course have a lot of toys and places to sleep all over the house, as we don't have our son home any longer. My son is let's see. Wrong way. My son is 27, so he doesn't live at home any longer. And I don't have a chest table up here because there are stairs. So, as you can see, here are 5 doors. One right in front of us is to the bathroom. It's a bit bigger than the one downstairs, but it's not that big, and I don't have a shower here, only a bathtub, which I enjoy almost every day. And let's see, we have our bedroom here, and it's pretty much as it is, and I see the roofing comes through here. Doesn't do that in real life. Here we got a family room with a TV. We enjoy sitting up here. We have a TV downstairs too, but this is where we enjoy staying. And if the game can stop freeze for a minute, I might be able to get into my office. So this is where I have my computer most of the times, but not always. I will show you later. And this is my son's room. We still got it, and it's actually pretty much like this. He's a goth, and he loves metal music, and the heavier the better. So it's very much black, candlelights, skeletons. I love skeletons, and I thought that the Reaper's guitar would suit him perfectly. So that's why he got that. And he loved black and white photographies and things like that, not colored photographies. So I put that up there. And he would have loved this room. So that's my house. So now you know how I live. And actually, where oops, I don't think I can handle this special good today, as I do push the wrong buttons. Actually, Brutus isn't well in his elbows. He are not allowed to walk in the stairs, and as we do have stairs, and I almost always sit in my office, I actually nowadays has my computer right here. I sit here, have my computer in front of me, and my husband sleeps in the sofa during the evenings. So I sit here and I will watch the computer, and I watch TV, and I talk to my husband, and it's very neat. But the only problem is that I can't record while he's home. The chair at the window is where Jesse always sits and barks, because he's looking out in the garden, and there's always something to bark at. And Brutus is more likely to lie down under the table at my feet, so I always have them around me. So I have a neat overlook of things here, and the day Brutus isn't around any longer, I will put my computer up. Oh, I see the curtains doesn't fit. I have to change that. Well, That's not the point. I will move up my computer to the office again later on, and my next dog will be a much smaller one, so I can carry it up and down if necessary. So now you know how I live, and I say it's a pretty big house. It's not that big, but it's nice. It suits me. And outside here, I have to show you that I arranged for having a studio, and we do a lot of carpenter work. My husband is a carpenter, building constructor, you name it. He does a lot of things, and I do paint sometimes. So I thought we have a studio here. I didn't want to clutter it all up inside. Otherwise, this is storage for any of our unfinished projects. We have a lot. And I can tell you that me and my husband, we met in 1983. We married in 1986, and we've been together for that long time. So it's a pretty long time. And we lived in this house in 1986. So we bought it, moved in, and got married. Wrong way around, wasn't it? But we enjoy it here, and we have a lot of neighbors. And Jessie actually lives next door, but is with me during the days. So this is us and our house. Thank you for coming and seeing me. Have a really good one, and do take care.